Invitation by Mary Oliver. Oh, do you have time to linger for just a little while out of your busy and very important day for the goldfinches that have gathered in a field of thistles for a musical battle to see who can sing the highest note or the lowest, or the most expressive of mirth or the most tender? Their strong, blunt beaks drink the air as they strive melodiously, not for your sake, and not for mine, and not for the sake of winning, but for sheer delight and gratitude. Believe us, they say, it is a serious thing just to be alive on this fresh morning in this broken world. I beg of you, do not walk by without pausing to attend to this rather ridiculous performance. It could mean something. It could mean everything. It could be what Rilke meant when he wrote, "You must change your life." It is a serious thing just to be alive on this fresh morning in this broken world. I beg of you, do not walk by without pausing to attend.
The abundance of creation is amazing, just an amazing thing if we are prepared to work with it, what this earth will give us. Just look at the richness and the fruit here. The things that are edible, the things that are food for the eyes, just beautiful.
The earth gives us so much, abundant quantities, overflowing. Wonderful gifts we're given. The sun, the rain, the soil, the earth. So much abundance.
Brambles, something that so often we ignore or just think of as a weed, but actually food for so many bees and butterflies, and also for us, if we care to notice, food for us too. Even the nettles are a sign of abundance if you happen to be a butterfly, a peacock butterfly or a red admiral butterfly.
Oh, do you have time to linger for just a little while out of your busy and very important day?
It's always good to look and look again, as Mary Oliver tells us. And just on this bit of broken inner concrete, there's so much life. Daisies, dandelions, ants, insect life, mosses, lichens, I don't even know what they're called, but just a stupendous amount of life. Life coming out of the cracks, life coming out of brokenness too. Somehow the seed gets in there and new life comes. It's amazing.
Do not walk by without pausing to attend to this rather ridiculous performance. It could mean something. It could mean everything. It could be what Rilke meant when he wrote, "You must change your life."
It's remarkable, this beauty, these pyramid orchids, the richness, the colour and the setting they're set in. It's just tremendous, mind-blowing, the sheer beauty of it, the inherent goodness in nature. Wonderful.
The news is stark. The whole planet is heating up. Parts of the earth are on fire. The Amazon is burning. The Arctic is burning. The ice is melting. The seas are rising.
We think that these things happen in faraway places, but only this summer 450 acres have burnt in Dorset in conditions caused by climate change. There's so much that we see that's wrong with the world, so many places where things are going wrong, we're losing species, we're losing habitats, and for me that's a big part of the reason why I rebel. I'm sat under a conker tree, and part of my fear for the world comes from things like the fact that conker trees have just gone onto the list of 200 endangered European species, and something that propels me to rebel is the idea that I might one day have to explain conkers and conker trees to my grandchildren because they don't exist anymore.
Just come on in. This is hot composting. What an image. How do we compost our grief? If you put your hand in here, you might even see the steam, but it's hot. It's 50 degrees today. Everything's breaking down, this dead, apparently inert material, green material and brown material, with a bit of a starter. Within 6 weeks we'll have soil. And you know, faced with the climate emergency, faced with the facts, the species that are going extinct, accelerating emissions of CO2, there's so much grief. There is so much grief. I think we have to face it, not run away from it or ignore it, but you know, plunge into it, feel it, know it, allow it to be transformed, to be changed into something. The word for grief, I believe, comes from a Norse word which means anger. There's a lot of energy there can be a lot of energy in grief and anger if we harness it, if we compost it. Something beautiful, something living can come from it and sustain us. This is an amazing oak tree. I think it's been here probably 500 years. Certainly would have been here during the English Civil War. Would have seen 2 world wars. Seen the turn of this millennium. It's just a huge thing. It just supports so much life. Over 250 species of insects and fauna. Just incredible, and so much lives underneath its canopy, let alone what's underneath its living in its root system. It's an amazing tree. During the days before Easter, Christian Climate Action held a vigil outside Parliament along with people from many other faiths. But because of lockdown, we had to abandon that. But people kept keeping vigil, meditating silently all around the country. And some of us from the Friary here came and sat under this tree. It was a funny thing because we felt we began by thinking we were praying for the tree, for the environment, but in the end it felt more like the tree was praying for us. In the great spiritual traditions, there are patterns to each day, each week, and disciplines to help people sustain themselves deep down. So, what are some of ours?
Yeah, I stop 2 or 3 times a day to be still.
Connecting with creation, walking with bare feet on wet grass.
I find working with my hands and trying to stay in the moment is good.
I love listening to birds song.
Being in the garden, getting soil under my fingernails.
Daring to do nothing twice a day.
Watching the bees in the flowers.
Just being in the moment and trying to find the holy in that.
Getting enough sleep. All these practices you could call regeneration because they're restorative. They connect us to something much bigger than ourselves, to nature, to the holy within us. And also they can help us connect to other people because together we're much more connected and much stronger.
This is taken from Living Earth's Wisdom by Bruce Sanguine. We tune our ears to the wisdom of Earth. It is deep prayer, this listening to her cries, as spirit sighs too deep for words. Unborn generations call to us from the future. What did you do when the planet could no longer bear your foolishness and began to break? The topsoil, living organism and not lowly dirt, clears its thinning, chemical-burned voice and speaks out for the biotic kingdom teeming within this dark body. Mother Ocean beckons us to return to her womb, that we might be born anew and know our salty tears to be her own. The willow drops her loving arms around our shoulders and brushes us with grace, whispering that it's not too late. It falls to us, wisdom's pupils, to turn this dirge into a dance of the cosmos. Let those with ears to hear rise up.